Hi everyone, in this video I'd like to talk you through what we're going to be doing as we take the course online this coming week. We will be running workshops and labs in the normal time slots, so if you're say in the 9 AM Tuesday lab or the 8 AM Wednesday workshop, you should connect at that time. When I last saw you, I thought we would be using Zoom for this course, and we will be a little bit, but actually having researched and played around with all these things, we're mostly going to use Microsoft Teams. The main reason for this is that Zoom requires a fairly high bandwidth because it's kind of video only, whereas the Microsoft Teams, we can use video if you've got the bandwidth, but given a third of the class don't, you can also use text and chat, which won't drain your data allowance. It also has the benefit that you can communicate outside of class times with each other, and you can set up your own study groups in it. So for that reason, we're going to at least start every workshop and lab in Microsoft Teams, and I'll explain in a moment how we set that up. A bit of video etiquette. If you are in a video meeting, please be careful to use earphones, not just your speaker and microphone on your computer. The reason for this is that if you're just using speaker and microphone, when someone talks it comes out of your speaker, goes back in the microphone, and they hear the whole thing echoed back with a bit of a delay, which is a nightmare for everybody else. So please, I assume almost everybody will have earphones. If you don't have earphones, just mute yourself when you're not actually asking questions. Okay, so let me show you about setting up Microsoft Teams. Instructions and links for how to install Microsoft Teams are on Wattle. So you'll have to install via the ANU license. It's part of the Office 365 suite, and there are instructions here how to install all of that. If you've already got the rest installed using the ANU license, like Word and Excel, you can go straight to Microsoft and just download Teams, and then make sure you sign in using your ANU credentials, because those are the ones I've enrolled you in the class via. When you start up Teams, you will see various teams you're a member of. I've enrolled you all in a Phys 1101 team, so you should see this showing up in your team list, and if any other classes are using it, you'll see other ones. You can also create your own. When you go in here, you will see a general channel for class representative meetings, for drop-ins, and you'll see some of these channels. There's one for each workshop group and each lab group. Now these may well not show up for you. You may just see any other channels button here which you have to click on to see it, or you can go to Manage Team, Channels, and see all the channels. And what you need to do is the channels that you're in, so let's say you're in Felicity's group Labs 1C, then you can select here and pin it at the top, so you'll always be able to find it, because you're going to be spending a lot of time in the particular channel for your particular workshop session and your particular lab session. Now if you can't remember which lab session you're in or workshop session, go back to Wattle. If you're back in the practical class selection, you'll see which lab, is it 1A, 1B, 1C, you're signed up for. And if you want to know which Zoom groups you're in, which is the same as the workshop groups, click here on Wattle and it will show you a spreadsheet showing all those things. Now what we're going to do at the start of each workshop is we're going to the General tab, and I'm going to start a video meeting here. And so when you come, you should be able to see the video meeting and join it. Now I can't quite show you what it'll look like, but I can show you what it says in the Microsoft help documentation. It may look something like this. There'll be a meeting like Introduction to Workshop or Introduction to Lab, and there'll be a join button, or it might show up in the chat, and again there'll be a join button. But whatever it is, when you start the workshop or the lab, go to the General tab and then join the video meeting, and that will be me explaining, answering your questions and explaining what's going to go on. When you're in the video meeting, let me start a video meeting. You have buttons over here which you can use to mute yourself and to turn your video on and off if you happen to be in your pajamas. You can also use this button to share your screen, or also to set up a whiteboard. a Microsoft Whiteboard, which is something where you can write on your screen with your mouse or whatever, and everyone else can also do it. So that's a very good way to explain to your tutors and demonstrators what you're doing and get them to answer it. That will be how we start each workshop or lab. Then when you get going, you'll need to go into whichever particular channel you're in, and your tutor or demonstrator will start either a Zoom meeting or a Microsoft Teams meeting, and you'll go in that, and you can also send text messages back and forth and discuss with them and so on. So that's how we're going to work things. That will all be explained when we start the workshop or the lab. We'll be running drop-ins every day 4 to 5 p.m. and they will also be done in Microsoft Teams. So please go into the General tab in the Microsoft team and ask your questions and start up video meetings there as you see fit. Now, if any of this is not working, please email me or send me a message in the General tab in Microsoft Teams or use the Facebook page, and I'll do my best to help. Good luck, everyone.